everyone, welcome back to Science with Ilana. Thanks for watching. I want to give a quick shout out to Simi and Evan as always, but also Noah and Alma who requested to learn a little bit more about salamanders, and I happen to have a very cool salamander at the museum to share with you all. Lives in this tank right here. But first I want to tell you just a little bit about salamanders. They are vertebrates, which means they have bones on the inside of their bodies just like we do. And they also have skin on the outside of their bodies, just like we do. But our skin is dry, and they like to keep their skin nice and moist and wet. Now, most salamanders, when they are born, go through metamorphosis. That means they change. So when they're born, they sort of look different than when they become an adult. Their body changes. Now, most salamanders do that, except for this very cool salamander that I have right here. Now, I'm going to bring you up close so that you can get a good look at this salamander. This is called an axolotl. So here we go. There's going to be a little bit of a glare. Let me move our little label here. Here is our axolotl. Well, it's taking a look at you. Now this axolotl's name is Yowali, which means night. And that's because he's nice and dark. But look at how cool this axolotl is. And I don't know if you can all see, but this axolotl actually has some gills. Do you know of other animals that have gills? Fish. And fish live in the water, right? Well, this salamander lives in the water all the time. Doesn't come up onto land like other salamanders do. This axolotl stays in the water, and that's why it needs these gills to help it breathe. Now, this salamander has 2 eyes and a mouth and 4 legs, so he can walk, but he also has a long tail. He can swim a little bit. See that long tail? Oh, he's moving it. His body is sort of in the shape of a tadpole, but he is all grown up. Here he is. He's kind of came over to look at me. Now, axolotls are super cool. They are really only found in 1 or 2 freshwater lakes in Mexico, and they are endangered, which means that there's not too many of them left in nature. And that's because the lakes that they live in are getting polluted by people. And there are some other fish that have been introduced to these lakes that are eating the axolotls. And so scientists are trying to figure out how to save these animals from extinction. Now, these animals are also really cool because they can do something amazing with their bodies. If this axolotl got in a fight with another axolotl or got in an accident and hurt itself or maybe lost one of its legs, it can grow another leg back. So that is pretty amazing. It can regenerate or grow back a limb. So these axolotls, they like to eat little fish and worms, maybe little insects, anything that they might find in their lake or in their habitat. Here's a good look at the beautiful pattern on his body. And they don't move too much. They just sort of hang out here on the bottom. One thing I do like, though, I don't know if you can see, but in the sand over here, you can sort of see a pattern that his tail left in the sand as he moves. His tail sort of drags and creates this really pretty pattern in the sand where he lives. So this is my friend Yowali. And he's coming over to say goodbye. I wish I could take him out, but I can't because he needs to stay in the water in order to stay alive. But I hope you like learning a little bit more about him. He's a super cool animal.